may not harass women. You may know how to take rejection. The majority of men that most women deal with do not.
Yeah.
And you are accountable for that as well. Because I don't got time to figure out which white people are nice, which white people aren't racist, or da-da-da-da-da. I have to go on the actions of the group.
Right.
The group as a whole and the history of that group as a whole tells me that they are a danger to me and they are not to be trusted.
Right.
When the topic of the week is Cassie, Diddy, Holly, DDG, and I speak up, now I'm pandering. When I tell y'all that y'all some losers, for the first thing y'all do is come on this app and defend the abusers instead of actually speaking out. That's exactly what Deontay Kyle was talking about. Y'all are not holding these men accountable.
Oh God, another man with a microphone. What are you talking about? And I'm saying though, and these women need to be respected. And they beautiful. And they beautiful. No, for real. Diddy and Tory are wrong.
It's hell. It's hell, bro.
It's all the patriarchy at work, bro. It's all this is how it was designed to be this way. But women are being abused left and right, and it's not right.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And niggas don't come on here saying I'm pandering. I'm not pandering.
You're not.
This is real.
You're not.
This is really is what's going on.
Yeah.
We need a reset TV. What is happening? What is happening? Listen, man, I took some time off, had to show some love to the little ones, man. I got children graduating from age 5, age 17, and 13, man. So did a lot, had to do my vacay, man. Had to do that. But shout out to y'all, man. I know y'all seen a lot going on around these YouTube streets. I want to know a lot of y'all thoughts and opinions. And a new thing I want to try, I seen a couple of other YouTubers doing it, and I thought that was dope. When you guys are dropping your comments, man, I definitely would love to know where you guys are from. As a traveling man myself, I think it's good we tap into each other's backgrounds a little bit, just a little bit. Now, if you guys don't know this character over here, you know, he runs a podcast called Grits and Eggs Podcast, right? First of all, dope name. It resonates with me for so many reasons. I'm here in the South, but he got the so-called black Twitter going nuts, or at least a lot of women and a lot of gay men would have you believe that there's a lot of black men that went crazy about this brother's take.
What's going on, you all? Let's talk about this mess that is going on right now with Deontay Kyle and black men everywhere. Deontay Kyle basically just in a 2-minute video from a almost 2-hour podcast requested that men take some form of accountability. Oh my gosh. Like, they were so upset.
It's just a dangerous game, but I'll speak to this perceived war on black men, right? Like, anytime, like, okay, Diddy and Tory, right?
Right.
Anytime stuff like that happen, it's like, oh, it's a war on black men. You know, like when niggas when they dirty deeds catch up to them, they say it's a war on black men. But the part that confuses me is that this war is not being waged by black women. But that's the way it's set up. The way that they would have it, have you perceive it, is that this war on black men is waged by black women.
And it's not.
It's not. So, and I say that to say something like academics, right?
Right.
He posted a picture of Megan next to Carol Bryant, and somehow wants to compare Emmett Till to Tory Lanez is insanity.
Wow. That's wild.
First of all, when I see you,
yeah, for sure,
because that shit is so disrespectful.
Very disrespectful.
And they fired the longstanding Librarian of Congress, which means that they're going to have access to a lot of history in America. And what their track record is so far in this presidency, it's going to be a lot of history that's going to go missing or be rewritten. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at some like MAGA Council of Nicaea type shit. But the war on black men has always been raised by the white society. White women seeing our sexual prowess, but using it like Carol Bryant did to be able to get us killed. Mass incarceration, school to prison pipeline. Black women don't have anything to do with that. They actually suffer under the same conditions. Now, here's the issue that I take with this war on black men and it being framed up like it's being raised by black women, is that black women are also dealing with the same conditions of being black, but also being women.
Right.
So, I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay. You get ready to go out.
And his take basically was on Diddy, Tory, black men at large perpetuating a narrative that there's a war against black men that's steamrolled by black women. Now, before I get in my thoughts about that, I want you to understand the same character that's pushing out this message, which I thought, for better or worse, it was a good message, but it's always important to at least understand who the messenger is, you know, not necessarily eviscerating the message, but understanding who the messenger is. So check this out and we'll be back with our commentary.
We have a certain idea about what LA is and like what gangbanging is, and we just think niggas just walk around being demons all day, every day. And it removes the humanity of it from them. Like, these niggas got mamas, they got people they love, they be in relationships. They, even though they homies and them be doing dirtball shit, they friends. And this is the hand they was dealt. It's just their environment. If you grew up there, you would acclimate yourself to that as well. But it's good to see, the most fascinating thing about it is, you know, to see, like, he got this thing called The Apple in the Tree, where it's his mom telling the story about how she used to carry a pistol in church while she was singing in the choir. She a gang member. His father, a gang member. So it's like, what other path could he have taken?
Could you imagine? So before we talk about this gentleman's take on gang culture in LA, and I'm presuming he's from LA. Listen, man, I thought nothing was wrong with him making some points, right, about academics equating the Tory and Meg situation to Miss Carol, the white woman that spoke a lie into existence on Emmett Till. That was out of pocket. When you get someone like a DJ Academics with his notoriety and his level of influence and his following, especially with the youth, majority of folks that probably follows Academics are young men, and he's over here spoon feeding them that the Emmett Till situation is equating to a freaking Emmett Till murder. So many different dynamics that do not equate or even mirrors what Tory and Meg got going on. I find it offensive, and I'm sure those of you that know history will find it offensive. But I digress. This brother here is playing with a dangerous game, like a lot of you other brothers do, and a lot of you other black women do. You play a dangerous game where I think you guys are sometimes stuck in your internet world, your different internet narratives, and you're equating it to real life. Here's what I mean. This brother's here. You would assume that he's breaking down the wall, right? This mythical wall where there's a war of black men versus black women. He's breaking down that wall, right, by speaking for black women, which, you know, I commend you. Then you have another video of this man helping to propagate gang culture. This brother here is making so many excuses on gang culture, and I know you didn't catch it, some of you, if you wasn't focused on the words he was using, but he was basically explaining an average day life of living in a gang environment, right? And if you was listening carefully to him, he was justifying why people are the way they are in gang culture. And ladies and gentlemen, as somebody myself who's on the front street of this, dealing with my youth advocacy and everything that I do on a daily basis, when you see those body bags, when you see the affliction from the effects of murdered sons, husbands, and brothers, I'm telling you right now, I beg you guys to understand something. If you are from the pool of people that live their average everyday lives, not bothering nobody, not asking for any trouble, and you've been the victim of a loved one being murdered, whether your loved one was a clear participant in gang culture, it affects you. Whether you have a loved one sitting in prison and them not understanding you're doing time with them, if you care that much, right? It offends you when someone like this gentleman from the Grits and Eggs podcast is literally giving you justification for gang culture. And I would be one to argue the justification or justifications do not outweigh the devastation. It's crazy that on one side of your mouth, you will talk about everything black women are going through and talking about all the faults in black men and how they propagate this so-called agenda, right? Meaning they're making up a fake war between black men and women, but then you justify. And let's go ahead and target where he was speaking of, right? LA, California in general, gang culture. That sounds ridiculous. That sounds ridiculous. It sounds like you don't have your priorities in order. And this is where I can see why some black men are saying you are pandering to black women. Now, I hate to do this. I'm not one of these guys that like to bring it in this realm, but check out this video from this brother. But I want you to check it out from analyzing certain things about this dude, and you can understand why he just dropped this crazy video that got the internet going nuts. So let's check it out and we'll be right back again.
We may use different accents, we may have different ways of expressing ourselves in fashion, but it comes from the same tree. And when we start looking at ourselves as the global majority, which is what colonizers don't want, because that's the thing, we may be 12% to 13% in this country, but start having a conversation about what you look like globally.
So you mean to tell me this brother over here with certain mannerisms, y'all can say that I'm picking and choosing. I get it. There are certain heterosexual males that cosplay, right, as this masculine figure, and they be on the down low. But nothing you will tell me about this brother exuding femininity out the woodworks, and he is the voice to speak on the issues of black men versus black women. You will miss me with that bullshit. Do you hear me? Miss me with that bullshit as I'm watching this brother over here damn near sounding like an auntie. I can see that. And in my conclusion, I just gotta keep saying this, man. A lot of you YouTubians, as the so-called hypocrite, the so-called, champion of black race, depending how you see him, Dr. Umar would say, you YouTubians spend so much time in this internet streets that you really think the things that y'all spitting relates to what's going on in real life. I would argue in real life, most black men respect black women. I would argue in real life, most black women are seeking strong black men and actually are with strong black men. Y'all forget some of y'all actually have good fathers. Some of y'all actually have good sons, good brothers, good spouses, good partners. But what happens is you put your thinking cap on in this matrix that you're tapped into constantly, and you don't know how to detach yourselves from it. So you listen to a brother like this or a sister that talks in the same cadence this man talks in, and you would believe that, we're out here to hurt each other. These are the same YouTubians on all these panels will have you believe they all make six figures. I think black folk got a problem with the internet. A lot of you guys should not be on the internet. You don't know how to decipher between real life and the internet. Some of you could be having the greatest relationships in your lives, men and women, and you hear your favorite podcaster or your favorite YouTube personality, and you leave that scenario and you bring drama and problems into your households. There's not scenarios that these YouTubers are pushing down your throats that you think is really happening in real time. It's not the case. Our biggest downfalls is that we fed into the bullshit. You drank the Kool-Aid. So a brother like this, you'll put him on a pedestal if you're a black woman and say, a brother finally speaking for me, but yet you're around good black men every day that shows you your worth and value. But you dismiss it because those brothers probably don't have the notoriety of a guy like this on the internet telling you black men are the reason why black women gets called out of their names, or black men vice versa. You're listening to a brother or sister that's telling you that your enemy should be a black woman because she's doing all sorts of things to you, but you just had a great day from a black woman that stroked your ego, a black woman that made you realize how much of a strong man you are, or the strong man she wants you to be, but you're out here running loose on these YouTube streets falling to the propaganda. This internet is a tool that I'm watching that's destroying a lot of y'all because you don't know how to detach from it. You tapped into the matrix too deep. I mean, what say y'all in the comment section? I feel like I was just going on, but it's coming from a passionate place because I'm watching two different things happen. I'm watching one world in social media versus real time. And I'm telling y'all, man, tone that shit down. Pull your skirts down, bruh. In real life, we got bigger issues to worry about than what we heard on YouTube. It's things that can easily be fixed. Then you come on YouTube, you hear a brother right here from the Grits and Eggs podcast on one side of his mouth talking about how there's a false war against black women. And guess what? I can't agree with him, right? And I meant a false war versus black men that's being pushed by black women. And I can't agree with him until you watch his take on gang culture and he's justifying it, or rather making excuses for it. And if you knew the devastation and destruction that comes from it, there's no amount of justification that will have you spit those words out of your mouth where somebody that probably had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you just made them feel relaxed and staying in that culture, brother. That's how I feel about it. What say y'all in the comment section about all of this? Let me meet you there. Don't forget, guys, let me know where you're coming from. You know, what's your background, what state, what region you're reaching out to me from. And I would love to chop it up with y'all. This was Gravitating Away on We Need a Reset TV. And boy, do we ever need a reset. And as I'm watching more and more, we need a reset from being too attached to this internet, y'all. God damn.